So, you want to run 10K without stopping? Well, this is the video for you, whether you're new to running or simply looking to up the distance. Trying to run 10K without taking any breaks or stopping can be quite daunting. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to build up to that non-stop 10K, or better, to smash that next 10K. Okay, starting out with one that you've probably heard a million times already, but start out slow. Yeah, you might find that you can cover far more distance if you just go a little bit slower. So that means running at what I tend to call a conversational pace, meaning that you're running at a pace that allows you to talk in complete sentences with a friend or training partner. And if you find yourself getting out of breath, then just slow things down even further again. And as you build your fitness, then you can maybe start focusing on increasing the pace. But for now, just focus on the distance. Okay, so I know the goal is to run 10K, but simply heading out and trying to run 10K or close to 10K every single week is not the answer. You're much better off running shorter distances if you want to accomplish running 10K comfortably. So this means doing something like 3 to 4 shorter runs per week. By doing that, that means you're running more regularly. That's going to help to improve your running efficiency, and you may actually find that you end up with a larger overall running volume per week than if you just did one longer run. So this might look something like 3 lots of 4-kilometer runs per week. That's going to give you 12 kilometers of total running in the week. Obviously, start out with distances suitable to yourself, and as you build those distances up, just be mindful that you're increasing that no more than around 10% per week. Now, an important note for this is to make sure that you are taking rest days, you're respecting the need for a rest day. This is your body's opportunity to absorb and adapt from all that hard work you're doing. If you don't take rest days, there is a chance that, well, by running endlessly, you're overloading the body too much. You can end up plateauing, or worse, even starting to go backwards. Now, if you are starting out and you're building up to this 10K for the first time, I would definitely recommend adopting the day on, day off approach at most, therefore making sure that you're always having a day off between each run. Okay then, as you're getting into the groove of your running, find a bit of a routine with your running. It can be a good idea to include one slightly longer run per week without going too crazy, obviously. Now, these are a great way to improve your endurance, your strength, and your fatigue resistance, which is why they're pretty much a staple for most runners out there, regardless of the distance. However, obviously, you don't want to be doing all your runs at this longer distance. So earlier I gave you the example of 3 lots of 4-kilometer runs per week. So you would want to change out one of those runs for something, say, in the region of 6 to 7 kilometers. Obviously, going back to my first point about starting pace, you're going slightly further now, so just be mindful of that and adjust your starting pace accordingly. Now then, you may be listening to all of this and thinking, yeah, that makes sense, but I just tend to head out the door and do what I feel like on the day. Well, you're definitely not alone on that one, but now is the time to get yourself a training plan. The training plan is going to make sure that you've got some structure to your training, you're going to build things up gradually, and also make sure you don't overdo things. But the big benefit, particularly in my case, is it keeps you honest and on it. What I mean by that is it's very easy to just miss the odd run, and then before you know it, you've only done one run in the week without really realizing it. Whereas with the training plan, you feel the need to stick to it. So get yourself a training plan, or write yourself a training plan, have it written down somewhere, or better, print it off, stick it to your fridge or somewhere obvious so there's no escaping it. Now then, let's get down to business and complete this 10K without stopping. Now, this is assuming that you have covered all the previous points that I've mentioned today. Now, one way of completing this 10K without stopping is deploying some sneaky tactics. One of which is planning a point-to-point course of obviously 10 kilometers, and then getting some transport back at the end or meeting a friend at the end. You could also plan a loop that has no option of cutting short. That could also work. The only drawback of this is obviously you could stop, you could walk at any point you like. A way to eliminate that though is setting yourself a time limit. Perhaps you need to be somewhere or meet someone at a certain time, and you allow yourself just the amount of time to complete that 10K should you run it. And then finally, another one is to give you some kind of incentive. Maybe that's a cake at the cafe post-run, should you complete the 10K without stopping, or maybe it's purchasing that lovely GTN run tee that you've been eyeing up for some time. And one final thing to think about on your way to completing a 10K without stopping is to make sure that you give your body a bit of TLC. I mean, things like stretching and those rest days that I mentioned before will really help you on the way to being able to do that. I hope this has been helpful for you today, and best of luck completing that 10K without stopping. If you enjoyed today's video, please do give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to GTN by clicking the icon just down below.